Now we're going to talk about making an offer. The key point of this lecture is the offer must make sense for you specifically. An offer that makes sense for me may not make sense for you. It is individual. Let's go over the three common methods for making an offer. The first one is a net operating income divided by the market cap rate. The second one is looking at the sale comparable on a price per unit basis. For example, $50,000 per unit. And the last one is the tax assessed property value. Method number one is a net operating income NOI divided by the market cap rate. As a refresher, the net operating income, or NOI, equals the income minus the expense. The expense does not include the debt service. The NOI can be obtained on the T12. Remember, when analyzing any property, you need two documents. The first one is the T12, and the second one is the rent roll. For the market cap rate, that can be obtained by talking to multiple brokers or looking at appraisal reports. In Oklahoma, the market cap rate is 8%, but in Alabama, the market cap rate may be a 9 or 10%. It really varies per market. So as an example or a sample calculation, let's just say the net operating income is $50,000. If the market cap rate is 8%, your offer price equals $50,000 divided by 0.08, which equals $625,000. Method number two is looking at the price per unit basis. To quickly figure this out, typically we'll look on LoopNet for currently listed properties. You can call multiple brokers asking for the average price per unit. And what I'd like to do is look on PropStream. PropStream is a database that costs $100 per month, but it gives you a lot of the recently sold properties. So typically when looking for sales comps, I want to look at those sold within the past year and within a 5-mile radius of the current property that I am analyzing. Properties must be built around the same time. If a property was built in 1970, it cannot be compared to a property built in 2010 because those are completely different asset classes. The property built in 1970 is a Class C apartment complex, while the apartment complex built in 2010 may be considered a Class A. After that, you want to figure out the purchase price and how many units to calculate the price per unit. For example, if the purchase price is $1 million and it's 20 units, you take $1 million, divide by 20, and you get $50,000 per unit. Now with that number, let's just say you want to make an offer on a 30-unit apartment complex. You'll take $50,000 times 30 units, which equals $1.5 million. Pretty simple. Method number three is looking at the tax assessed price, which is by far my most favorite method in making offers. The tax assessed price is public information. It's easy to find out. What you have to do is you Google the street address followed by the word county to figure out which county the property is in. For example, if the address is 123 Main Street in San Francisco, California, add the word county at the end and hit search on Google. Once you figure out the county, then you just Google San Francisco Tax Assessor's Office. Whatever county that is, followed by Tax Assessor's Office. Click on the property search and input the address and look at the most recent tax bill. For example, the most recent would be in 2022. And this can be your offer price. What I love about method number three is the tax assessed price will always be the cheapest offer compared to the other two methods. I personally love method number three in offering the tax assessed price. I actually closed on my 26 unit as well as my 20 unit, and I just offered the tax assessed price. Oftentimes the owners know exactly what the tax assessed price is because they pay their property taxes every year, and it helps you build credibility because when they ask, well, how'd you come up with this offer? I just say, hey, this is what the tax assessed price is based on your county. Let's take a look at a sample tax assessment. I literally pulled this off Google. Once again, I just searched the address, followed by the word county. And once I figure out what county it is, I just put in the county and added tax assessor's office at the end. Upon pulling that up, I found the website, punched in the address, and this is what pulls up for this property. As you can see, it lists all the years back from 2007 to 2008 all the way until 2020. If you look at one column, it has the land value. If you look at the next one, it has the structure value. And your offer price is adding up the land value plus the structure value. And that is what your offer price will be. Now your question is, well, I have three methods. Which method should I use? Once you have complete all three methods, use the lowest offer. As I mentioned before, the tax assessed price, or method number 3, will typically be the lowest offer. For both of my deals, as I mentioned earlier, I offered the tax assessed price, which was by far the lowest offer price out of the three methods. A lot of times when the owners tell me, hey Steven, I just want to sell the property at the tax assessed price, my radar is blazing because I know that it will be a good deal. Because typically, whatever the tax assessed price is and what the property will appraise at will be a large gap. For example, my 26 unit, I offered $500,000, got $50,000 in repair credits, so essentially I was all in for $450,000. When I got the property appraised from my lender, it appraised at $750,000, which is $300,000 more than what I paid. I essentially made $300,000 in equity day one. So as a general rule of thumb, if your seller is saying, hey, I just want the tax assessed price, it is definitely a killer deal. Now what happens if the owner will not give me any financials? They won't give you the T12. They won't give you the rent roll. And why? This is actually very common. At the end of the day, remember, when you reach out to these owners, you're essentially a stranger. They do not know who you are. They do not trust you. They don't know anything about you. So as a result, they are skeptical, and I would be too. But what do you do in this situation? In this case, I would make an offer based on the tax assessed price. Most of the time, the owner will be shocked by how low the offer is and ask how you figure out your offer. I just state, hey, I just base the offer off the tax assessed price, and if you want a better offer, I will need more financial information, which includes a T12 and a recent rent roll. And will typically state, my lender will typically need these documents as well, and they know that. As I mentioned before, they know that a property lender will need a T12 and a recent rent roll, and also know what the tax assessed price is because they pay their property tax every year. To kind of end this lecture, I just want to set some expectations straight. At the end of the day, making offers is a number game. The more offers you make, the more likely you will get a deal under contract. Just come up with your price and see how the seller responds. That's all you can do and all you can control. That's what I always do, and tell every broker owner that reaches out to me, I will give you an offer price that makes sense for me, and now the ball's in your court once you know my price. If the offer doesn't entice the seller, move on and just follow up. A lot of times I make an offer and the owner's like, that's not what I wanted, I have better offers out there. And sometimes those better offers will fall through. Maybe the lender or the bank won't finance it at the higher price. As a result, they backed out and now you're back in. So it's always key to follow up. And lastly, just get comfortable making a lot of offers. Get comfortable getting no's. Get comfortable with sellers telling you that you're crazy. Get comfortable with sellers yelling back at you as to why your offer is so low. At the end of the day, it's a numbers game, and all it takes is one yes to change your life with multifamily. One multifamily deal is all it takes to retire from your W-2 job. One multifamily deal is all it takes to build financial freedom and financial wealth for you and your future family. One deal is all it takes. If you just remember that, do not be discouraged by all the no's that you will get. Remember, it's just a numbers game. Once you've been doing this as long as me, you'll know exactly if I make 30 offers Typically, one offer will be accepted. So once you know your rate, you know if I make 30 offers, I will close on one deal. What document do I use to make all of these offers? It's called a letter of intent, or LOI for short. Typically, it's a non-binding agreement that sets the basic terms. It's basically a quick and dirty document that lists the purchase price, the due diligence period, the earnest money deposit, the down payment, what title insurance company you use. It just kind of sets the basic terms there before both parties commit to doing the longer purchase and sale agreement, which I will talk about next. But typically it's a one simple page document. As I always state in this course, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. If the LOI looks good, the next step is typically the purchase and sale agreement. And this purchase and sale agreement is a standardized binding document. Remember, the LOI is a non-binding document and typically gives you maybe 3 to 5 days to complete the purchase and sale agreement. Typically, this can be found online by Googling Oklahoma real estate purchase and sale agreement. I used Oklahoma as an example, but you can type in any state and you'll find it. If you're using a realtor, typically they will complete the purchase and sale agreement for your behalf. If you're not using a realtor, sometimes it can be provided to you by the title insurance company.